Hi everyone. Um, Quick update on the last couple of days. They've been big. Yesterday we had an X2.2 flare, which was I think just before 2 o'clock in the afternoon, our time in Australia, which would have been just before 4 in the morning, Universal time. And then you would think there would have been a little bit of a rest after that burst, but no. We again had another, I think it was M9.6, which, is pretty close to another X as far as I'm concerned. At 1 minute to midday today, which would have been 11:59 p.m. Universal time. So Universal time, they both came on the same day. Australian, we got a bit of a gap. So, well, same time frame, but they fell on different days, but technically still within that 24-hour period. The Schumann has been doing its thing, and apart from a couple of what I'm loosely describing as white cloud areas, it would, by all intents and purposes, look like everything's calm. But if you zoom in to it, you'll be able to see these, what I call the rapid fire pulses of this, what I believe to be higher frequency light, which is very different to what it's looked like in the past, as far as I can see anyway. And again, you won't see it in big bursts. It only comes in, and you can see my dog climbing up on the lounge behind me. This is Max. 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 I don't think he's very impressed with being on camera. So the reason I don't think we see it in these big bursts is because the frequency is so high that we can only take it in these little pulses. But they're coming very, very rapidly, not in big gaps. So that's interesting. The other thing that I wanted to share, in the hope that it resonates with at least somebody out there, and please, again, with anything I say, just take what feels right, because I'm going to touch on this more, but the truth is I don't know for sure. I'm just sharing my thoughts and experiences and what I believe is happening. So just anything that I say, only take what feels right to you. I had a couple of experiences. I mean, I've had quite a few of them, obviously, where I've had my beliefs challenged. But in the last couple of weeks, there's been several opportunities where somebody that I resonate with very strongly and have a lot of respect for, even if I've just met them, it's kind of an instant recognition that they hold wisdom of some capacity. But at the same time, what they're sharing with me goes against pretty much everything that I've recently been shown myself. And I'm not saying that there haven't been times in the past where I've had my beliefs and experiences challenged, and that's all part of the journey. But this was different because it really, and the second experience, and I'm sure you're watching, is somebody that shared with me insights, and I resonated with so much of the information, but there were bits there that came at a different angle from what I believe to be the case. And this got me thinking, and I really sat with this every opportunity possible, to work out, was it an ego thing? Was I feeling rumpled because somebody wasn't agreeing with me? Or was I getting upset because if I was resonating with them and they were right, then did that mean I was wrong in what I know and believe? And it created all of this dialogue, I would say, and stepping into that observer role to kind of figure out what was going on. And the conclusion that I came to at this point anyway, and it may change, is that there are things that I believe, I have things that I know, and I have things that I know. And I know I'm using the same word there twice, but it's got a very different meaning to me in both parts. So the first, what I understand is I know a lot. Like, I know a lot. And this is information I know through hearing other people talk about it, through Max. Sorry, just 1 second. I'm going to have to let my dog out, otherwise he's going to be really annoying. Sorry. So I have a lot that I know, like most of us. Things that we've been told, things that we've read, things that we've come across. So it's an intellectual knowing, it's a mental knowing. Then I have things that I know. I know them experientially. I've experienced them. It's something that no matter how I look at it, I just know it. And I'll try and give examples in a minute, although I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So I've realized that what my beliefs are placing my trust, essentially, and my alignment of thinking with something that I don't know. Because if I knew it, I would know it and I wouldn't need to believe it, if that makes sense. Like, if you said to me, do you believe that you broke your foot? I would say, no, I know that I broke my foot. I don't believe that I broke it. I know that I broke it. So to me, there's a big difference. And I couldn't ever see that before. I always thought I believe in what I know. And to a degree, that's true. But it's now very clear that if I know it, I don't need to believe it. I know it, if that makes sense. So generally what I believe in is information that I come across and that I resonate with. Again, if it was something I already knew, it would already be a knowing. I wouldn't need to believe in it. Now, I'm not saying not to have beliefs, but it really made me question how attached I am to beliefs around certain things. When I first started this journey, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain it. I had this intense need to know. Once I got led to certain information, it was this intense mental, egoic need to understand everything. And I realize now how crazy that sounds, but I wanted to know everything. And my partner used to say to me, you're trying to understand the purpose of life itself, creation itself. And I'd go, no, I'm not. And I'd have a million excuses. That's not what I was trying to understand, but it really was, I guess. The human in me needs to understand what the soul and the inner being just knows. And that's the thing. I was constantly seeking out all this information, and information that resonated with me then became my beliefs, that this is what is. And so when you come across conflicting information, it can be really unsettling and confronting, because it challenges, it's almost like you come out of one belief system and then into another spiritual belief system. When I was trying to understand, how I needed to understand not just me, but how, the soul energy, and then that led me on this big understanding that the soul is like, I am my soul, but my soul is greater than me, and I am a fragment of it. And that opened up this whole can of worms to understand that. And then there's the next level to try and understand how the oversoul works and how that's connected to the monad, and all the way up into the different layers. And it was this intense need to understand and get the creation story to fit my belief system so that I could navigate this with greater ease, so I thought. But I realized the second that I start having a belief around something, I'm instantly limiting it to what I believe. And that doesn't allow me to experience the potential of what is, because I'm so heavily focused on what I believe should be happening according to my belief system and how this all operates. So then I realized that the most liberating thing I could say to myself at times is, I don't know, and to other people. When I first started doing this work, I guess if you want to call it in a professional capacity, I mean, sort of offering it to beyond friends and family and saying, okay, this is a service I provide, both with readings and energy work. I felt this immense pressure that I had to know everything. Otherwise, I was a failure as a healer. And when I say healer, I don't mean I am the healer. I mean the healer in the sense of people come and I assist in creating the space where they can activate their own healing abilities. So I just wanted to be clear on that. Sorry. And especially with readings, people would have questions, and I felt it was my obligation, if I was going to present myself as this psychic or this intuitive that was able to provide answers, I felt it was my obligation and my responsibility to have answers to everything. That put such a pressure on me that I still carry, even though I kind of let it go a while ago, but not fully, I've realized. So if there was a question that I didn't know the answer to, instead of just saying that, I would then go on this search to find the information, feeling I was failing the person if I didn't deliver, and that they would lose faith in me, and it would have this big detrimental effect. Now, the most liberating thing I can say is, I don't know, because I don't, in some cases, a lot of cases. The further I go on this journey, I realize there's a lot that I do know, but there's a whole lot more that I don't know. And that's okay, because I think if we were meant to know it right now, we would. And if we're meant to know it, we will, so that worry and stress can be eliminated, knowing that when the timing's right, if something's meant to happen, it will happen. And that it's okay not to know. Like I said, the human mind is trying to grasp and compartmentalize concepts that are beyond mental comprehension. And that's where I think I struggled a lot, because I needed it all to fit. I needed it all to make sense. And even as I say this, I'm laughing now, because I realize how crazy that is on some level. And I'm not judging it, because obviously, look, I don't think I'm the only one that's gone through this process, this incessant search for information to find the answers that fit. And the truth is, it's our knowing, not our knowing, that is going to guide us. It is that inner voice, those inner feelings. It's recognizing the subtle messages of the body that are going to be our best guide, not what we know up here. Because I think most of this we're in the process of letting go of, and just totally coming from here. So yeah, and then I asked myself, okay, so if beliefs is an alignment of my energy with something that resonates but I'm not sure of, and that's usually something that's come from this knowing, and this knowing is going to guide me, then where does faith come into this? Because isn't faith trusting in something you can't see yet, which is kind of like a belief? But I think faith's different. I think faith, for me, is knowing there is this greater power, this greater force that is guiding everything to this divine rhythm. It's like a dance that has its own rhythm, and you can either dance with it or you can just step back and observe. And I believe it's a force that's pure and loving. And I have faith that that path will unfold. I have faith that I will be guided along the way. Like I look back over my life and I see where I've been guided and trusted it and how that's turned out, where I've been guided and ignored it and how that's turned out. Yeah, I don't really know how to explain it more than that. I believe faith and belief is very different. Well, it is for me anyway. I think faith is having trust that the outcome is going to be a positive one, whatever the situation, and one that's in the highest good of all, because that allows it to unfold however it's meant to. So I think faith is holding space for potential to manifest. Lack of faith is the opposite. So yeah, so I think those four things are different. So beliefs, knowing, and faith, I think have helped me see, it's helped me find peace in knowing that it's okay not to know. Because even when I started making these videos, on some level I felt a pressure that if I predicted that something was going to change energetically, that I had to be right, because otherwise people wouldn't, I don't know, people would lose faith in me. But I've realized that it's not that. It's not about being right. It's about just sharing our journey, because I realized that through sharing our experiences, and having more personal conversations with some of you, it's allowed me to really, really feel that we are all connected in this in one way or another. Not all in the way that we all feel the same thing at the same time, but there are many of us that do feel very similar things at very similar times. And I find that really comforting to know that if I am crazy, there's a whole bunch of you that are crazy, crazy with me. So we'll all just have a boatload of fun. So yeah, anyway, I'm gonna go because I know that I've started rambling a bit now. I will be making another video soon. I feel really urged to talk about multidimensionality and understanding the concept of the one. So yeah, I'll try and make that in the next few days. But anyway, yes, I will go. Thinking of you all. I hope you're coping okay. These energies are just, on a Facebook post I did today, I said that in the past, these sort of solar updates, Schumann updates, were kind of periodic. Now it's almost like they're becoming repetitive, because there's just so much happening between solar rays, cosmic rays, Schumann reflecting these energies being released after they've been integrated by the grid, or so I believe. There's just so much happening. It's literally been a daily thing for so long now, with certain periods of the intensity significantly increasing, but the energies have been continuous. So, we wonder why it's so hard to just stand up some days. There you go. Anyway, sending you all big love. I hope you're doing okay, and I will look forward to talking with you soon. Bye.